bad, man. Thank you, sir.
You're a pig.
What is the fastest time for TP any percent? If you're competing for a record, it's just about 3 hours long. My PB is about 3.5 hours, because I never really ran TP that much to optimize my time fully. Would it be quick? Would there be a quick way to get more rupees prior to auction 1, and that way you can get a chart if it appears, etc.? No. For one, no, there's no great quick rupees to get. That would be enough. Second of all, every item you would buy in the beginning of the game will lose you about half a minute.
Yeah.
So, because it's so much faster just to insta-buy them out later in auction 2. The only way auction would become a Pog Champ Fest, and I'm talking like real Pog. I'm talking like everyone would like actually like cry like tears of joy for like days and weeks and months. Is if someone found a way to like RBA, hookshot, and stuff like that early. Because what we could do then is we could do Savage Labyrinth early. And by doing Savage Labyrinth early, we can then get 5,000 rupees. Or B, you can just find a glitch to allow us to RBA rupees. Because if we find a way to RBA rupees to get 5,000 rupees, then what we could do is we could insta-buy out all the items. So not only would that save 30 seconds, because I wouldn't have to bid for the actual Swift sale, but that means that I would only go once, and
30 seconds to showtime.
And I would basically just be like, okay, any item but the joy pen, and I'm good. So I wouldn't need to worry about what? Bullshit. I wouldn't need to worry about specifically getting just the Swift sale. I would just need to do like anything but joy pendants for 4 items in a row. That's it.
Yes.
The game is on.
Time for target practice. Into the breach.
No more bets, please.
Sure is shooting. Spot.
Alright, could have been a bit faster, but whatever. Still a 58, damn.
Of
Just
course.
really good.
Of course.
We got second joy auction. Could we get an auction command, Birdo, that update everyone on what's
Snakes on.
Alright, we are dealing with
My spotter guides me. Take this.
Is in need of a major comeback.
I got you, son.
Full bore.
That's out. Yes.
Amazing. A surprise save from Hungry Box's mother.
Your moves were a little bit off sense. You must be hungry. Fuel up on Campbell's chunky soup.
Full bore.
Thanks, Mom.
Now let's smash this noob.
Superb victory. Campbell's Chunky, the soup that eats like a meal.
Life is a responsibility. We're here to save each other.
This whole thing, how do I know it's not another game?
We'll find a way forward together. He was up with the captain before. I recommend it.
Brace yourself. Ready at engage.
Shrapnel! Napalm!
Fluffy, if I'm B or B, so it's either a long cutscene I go B or B for, or I do like a reset, so I go and make coffee or something, and I usually do a minute of ad break.
Sure than ever! Yes.
How are you doing? Hey Link7, thank you for being part of our creator community. We are grateful for millions of
My
creators.
spotter direct.
Other very missing.
Spotted.
Oh, this is a partnership.
Gunpowder.
Sorry, I'm not supposed to read partner emails.
Dyer's
I thought it was
courier
a generic one of
didn't
those
make it.
generic, just like goes out to every Twitch streamer.
Trick shot.
Things.
Spot on. Of course. This'll do.
Yeah, exactly. I have it turned on, so if you're a sub, you don't get any ads.
Eat lead.
I feel like two sellouts there.
Into
Possibly
the
make it
breach.
to that. My subs get to watch ads. That almost just lose me. Thank God
Yes.
for still loading times.
My
You still get paid for
spotter
subs. That's why I have the option to turn that off, so you get more money by getting subs. I said this on stream a few days ago. So I had like a call with a Twitch chat. Because in general, like I have a contact, I have a personal contact that I can use messages, then I have like someone that I can reach out to on Twitch. And I had a call with him. I maybe call him like once every couple of months, and I generally just give him some feedback on Twitch, give him some ideas, features. For example, I told him that add GIF emotes, because he asked me, "What do you think about tier 1, 2, and 3?" And I said, "Add GIF emotes." That was the one. That was the first thing I said. I said, like, add a GIF emote for tier 1, add one GIF emote for tier 2, and add one GIF emote for tier 3. That would be sick. If I can have Pet the Link as natively on Twitch instead of an add-on, that's amazing. Please. And then, I brought, and then they asked me about, like, in general, because they've done a lot of changes to, like, ads and stuff. And, I said that, I basically said that, oh yeah, I had a question for you, by the way. Because a bunch of people in chat have asked me, like, is there any way that I can personally turn off ads, even if I'm a sub, that can work? So I asked him, I was like, by the way, is there any way for people to individually turn off so they can get an ad even if they're a sub? And he was like, no, why? And I was like, oh, a few people in my community have asked. And he was like, wow, I have never heard anyone ask for ads before. You have one of the most supportive communities ever, dude. Like, the fact that your community asks for ads, that's
missing.
They were like, he was like, nah, that's never been in our list, but I'll write it down.
You die.
Haste.
Animal one.
Attack! Yes.
We don't ask for ads.
Honest TPing.
As you say. Yes. Yes. Eat less. A new trajectory.
Marana is still MIA.
Goals ahead. Run and gun.
No.
Of course. Into the breach.
Well, this is not a standard leap. This is a magical leap.
Marana's still missing. Haven't seen her in a while.
Full bore. My father guides me. Of course. Spotted. Let's have a go at it.
It's just incredible how speedrunners are able to play
My
this game.
spotter direct.
Well, I think that's kind of a
Run a
common
TP.
thing to think about it. Most popular games are kind of playing the same game over and over again. I mean, think about it. What are the most popular games? Dota, CS,
This'll hurt.
League of Legends, Fortnite, PUBG.
Attack!
I mean, no, I technically get it. Technically, a game like that is
Yes.
slightly different because you're going up against other opponents. So, when you're going up against other opponents, then
Mission bottom!
it kind of makes it slightly different. But I don't know. At the same time, it's like, yeah, no.
Quick draw.
Like I said this before on stream, this is the main thing that makes me not get bored of the game. And like we're saying, early game sucks. Don't get me wrong. Early game stinks. I hate early game.
As you
But
say.
it's fun because it's a different experience every time. Because just like how, you know, like Gary's mod, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys, especially like a lot of like, actually maybe not people that haven't been gaming on PC for that long. Wow. But definitely people that are my age or older. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember like Gary's mod or anything like that, right?
Easy as shooting.
That game sucks if you're alone. Those games actually suck if you're alone. But with friends, it's fun, right? I'm sure that you can think of a lot of games, like for example, like a game like that would suck on your own. But with friends,
TP's on cooldown.
it's a similar thing with early game. What makes it fun for me is talking to chat. Because basically, like I'm playing with friends, even if I'm only one playing. And if I get a run going, then I get excited like if you're playing like an online game, right? I'm sure that if you get, you know, if you get a game going, right, and you know, you have like 20 kills and like 2 deaths, right? You're absolutely like holding all the, you know, opponents, right? You're crushing shot. Then the adrenaline of just like, yes, I'm doing so well. That's what gets it exciting. It's the same thing for me with speedrunning. If I get a good run going, then I'm excited because the run is going really well. And if it's an early game, so it's kind of boring, then it's really tragic if we do have any entertainment. Because yeah, no, I don't particularly enjoy
Easy
going
shot.
around.
Line of sight.
I think Minecraft is actually slightly different. I think Minecraft is a game that I can definitely enjoy on my own. But you can expand and extend how many hours of fun you can have out of it with your friends.
The Dyer's courier
Like,
took
I
a
can
trip to the
easily,
old family
spend an entire
farm.
week playing Minecraft on my own and have fun. But when I used to play Minecraft for like months on end with my friends, then yes, it would not have been as much fun if I was not doing big fun. But I could easily boot up Minecraft, make a single player world, and play a single player for a while.
Take this. Skill sharpened. Yes. Body shot. Oh.
Coming bot.
You know what I wonder, Chad?
My spotter
What does all of these enemies eat? Like, actually,
I have no
if
ult,
they're
though.
stuck in these rooms since they're like
Yes.
locked in with doors, what do these enemies actually eat?
Fox. Fox could TP, careful. You guys dive it?
They're plants, dude. Yeah, but plants survive by getting sunlight, and a lot of these rooms have no
Trick
sunlight.
shot.
They have to get it somewhere else.
Your top tower's hurting.
Dominating.
That's a fair point. Insects.
Yes.
Almost feel bad for your top tower.
Of course. Sure is.
That top tower of yours ain't doing so good.
Uh-huh. Eat left. On target. Easy shot.
Your mid
I was
tower
using
ain't
Nightmare on
doing
you,
too
but
well.
died like instantly.
You should do a blind playthrough sometime on stream. If
cast
you
it on
mean
you.
Wind Waker, it's kind of too late to do a blind playthrough.
I'm stacking,
I don't
push. Be
think I can
careful.
do it blind anymore.
I'm double stacking.
If you mean a blind playthrough of another game, then I usually do playthroughs blindly of the new games. For example, when a new Paper Mario game comes out, I'll definitely do a full playthrough of that.
Shrapnel.
When Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, same thing. So when new Nintendo games comes out, I definitely do playthroughs of them, but talking about like Wind Waker, it's kind of too late.
Fresh mate!
One of the games that I'm the most excited about, like getting released on a Nintendo Switch, is the Metroid Prime trilogy. Because even though I played Metroid Prime 1 so many times as a kid, and I also
Radiant's
loved Metroid
toughened
Prime
up their
2,
structures.
a little bit of a fun fact,
The Dire
Metroid
went and
Prime 2
fortified
was
their
so hard for me to
structures.
beat as a child. I actually never beat that game. I've only cleared about half
Nothing
of
left of the other fella's mid tower.
So when
No
Metroid
breaking
Prime
down the
trilogy
radiant
comes out
structures
on
like
Switch,
this.
As you
I will
say.
definitely do a full playthrough of Metroid Prime 2.
This will come in
Or
handy.
just both, first and second, because I can play through the first one very quickly, because I know most of the game by heart.
Your top tower's
How many
getting
times
all
I've played
banged
that
up.
game. So I'm very, very excited doing the playthrough of that. I'm 21
Your
years
top tower's in trouble.
The main reasoning why I never got around to playing Metroid Prime 2 was not because of specifically
Yes.
just my age. It was more the fact that,
Yeah.
this is going to be kind of a... This is going to be a little bit of a new...
Higher
For
caliber.
people that know PAL, or the European and Australian video signal
I'm gonna double stack if you
yeah,
wanna
when
wait.
it's only PAL instead of MTS.
I can do full.
And for Metroid Prime 2, that game was 60 hertz only. Basically,
Yes.
back in the day, everything we did was 50 hertz. Around the GameCube generation was when 60 hertz became more mainstream, so all TVs for many years were 50 and 60 hertz compatible, which meant that most games during the GameCube generation, you had the option of doing them up to 60 or 50 hertz, which is really good, because if you don't know, if you do 50 hertz, your game runs at 5 FPS instead of 30 or 60 FPS plus 50. Now, for some games such as Metroid Prime 2, they made it
Spotted.
60 hertz only. And we had an old CRT until we didn't lose our old CRT TV until
Quick draw.
we had an old 50 hertz only CRT monitor until
Sure is shooting.
2011.
Take this.
So we kept using the same old CRT monitor.
The other
I
fella's
only
bottom
played
tower.
Metro Prime 2 with
Nothing
my
but
brother,
fragments
like,
now.
my
Mid
brother
tower's in a
because
bit of a
my mother
bind.
had a newer CRT that had 60 Hz compatibility. So number one, I could only play it for very limited amounts of time with my brother. And a game like that requires you to understand more stuff. So when I was younger, I needed a lot of time. For example, the only way I got through Metro Prime 1 was trial and error, right? Because, for example, if you're lost forever in Metro Prime, then eventually it's like, hey, dummy, you're supposed to go here on the map. If you ever played a Prime game.
My spot, my
Really?
going ballistic.
So I never get around to it.
Yes? Of course.
We can't perceive resolutions beyond 4K.
Make
Actually, don't at me for this. I even think that 4K is a large situational scale. I think 1440p is the sweet spot right now. I even think 4K is the video.
on target.
Most things can't run at 4K. And on top of that as well, depending on, I guess, how big your setup is, it makes sense. But, or like if you were talking about like a massive 15-inch TV, or if you're talking about like a 20-inch monitor. But I personally find that if you're getting a 20-inch monitor, I find it to be a little bit obsessive and unnecessary to get 4K. I think 1440p, 144 Hz is way more worth it than spending so much more money to get a
I can get more rank if you want to.
or spending a ridiculous amount of money to get 4K and having high refresh rate.
My spotter directs.
X resolution is the highest you can see.
Shoot 'em up.
Actually, about the whole thing about the highest you can see, I can't tell you how many times I got behind my graphics because I kept getting an argument with my friends because they were always just like, why would you buy a better laptop? Your eyes can see like 24 frames per second, so it doesn't
Your
matter.
top tower's getting all banged up.
30 FPS, 20 FPS, because you can only see 24, and I'm like,
Your top tower's in trouble.
I was like, no.
Can't do nothing about dire structures right now. Almost feel bad for your top tower. So much for your top tower.
Nice try.
But no, if I will say one thing, in my opinion,
Yeah.
no one is gonna notice a significant difference in between playing a game at 200 FPS to 300 FPS. I will 100% agree. Going from 200 FPS to 300 FPS is pretty big. It's such an incredibly small difference. If you set someone down, they're gonna be like, oh, yeah, this is 200.
Run and
Oh no,
gun.
this is 300. Like, maybe if it was side by side, I'd try to look. But if you sit them down, it's like,
Your mid tower ain't doing too well. No breaking down the radiant structures like this.
but
Dire structures looking fortified.
I mean, it's the same thing where, I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was actually a good video that I made on my YouTube channel, Linus.
The other fella's top tower had a little accident.
We did a video with Shroud, and
I'm not ready.
like playing like 60 hertz, 120 hertz, or nice target,
Gunpowder justice.
or 244 hertz. And the difference between
Yes.
60 hertz and 144 hertz was a pretty big difference. But the
Snipe hunt.
difference between 144 and 240 is so minimal.
Going
They're
ballistic.
meaning to smash that bottom tower of yours.
Eat lead.
Actually, I've said this a lot of
spotted
times.
guy
For me
is-
personally, I really don't
Sure than
mind
ever.
games like Zelda games or Mario games to be 30 FPS.
Of course.
My only issue with FPS is if it's not constant. What I mean by that is, I find Link's Awakening to be way worse than, for example, Windmaker. Even though Link's Awakening is 60 FPS and Windmaker is 30 FPS. The reasoning for that is when you're just playing the game, except for like rare occasions like bomb explosions, it's smooth at 30 FPS. I would way rather have a game running at, for example, 45 FPS constant than 60 FPS and dropping.
Spotted.
Because frame drops is so much more noticeable. Hell,
We should maybe fight them here.
Making 30 FPS over 60 with frame drops. So it's like that's the main thing.
Your bottom
like,
tower.
Roaming is 5. Never mind, maybe we just be careful.
Consistent FPS than higher but frame drops. Because I so notice. So for example, like the Switch mechanic. But if Nintendo considered it 50 FPS, but it would drop a lot of the time, so it would maybe go down to like 30, 40 FPS, and like constantly shifting FPS rates, I would hate that. I would way rather just have them cap it in
Line of sight.
Now, Breath of the Wild is a bad example. It's in grassy areas.
The other fella's aiming to wreck your bottom tower.
It's still overall.
Of course.
Yeah, it's okay.
Spotted.
There is definitely, though, at one point where frame drops doesn't really bother me. For example, like, if I
Radiant's
would be playing
toughened up their
Minecraft
structures.
and running at a 300 FPS or something
Run
like
a
that,
TPing
and
to
then
one of
I
them.
Oh,
150
TPing
FPS,
there.
Your bottom
no, I
tower.
wouldn't
No,
say
that's far, that's far.
That's so high. But when you get down to, like, games that run at 60 FPS and drop to 40,
Yeah.
Clark here.
I'm gonna get... Who thinks that I'm gonna break it and be right?
Run and gun. Cheap shot.
Yes, I am holier than thou.
I did it! I got it! Wait, you got it? Pog, you?
Alright, carry on.
Top 5 favorite...
Someone's having technical difficulties.
Wind Waker HD, Breath of the Wild... Ocarina of Time... A Link to the Past...
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna change up my answer a bit from what I normally say. I'm gonna go with Minish Cap. Normally I'd say probably TP, but you know what? I'll throw Minish Cap in there.
Well, that was a hell of a recoil.
Good luck out there.
Snipe hunt.
Oh, I don't like Majora's Mask actually. It's a good speedrun, but I hated Majora's Mask actually.
Yes.
It's the only 3D Zelda game I haven't beaten without
Sniping.
The other fella's bottom tower's done for.
Full bore.
Your mid tower needs a little help.
Of course. Into the
Hate to be your mid tower right about now.
Majora's Mask just goes against the playstyle I like. Number one, as a kid, I couldn't read English, and Majora's Mask is one of the worst Zelda games to play the play. So that automatically has zero nostalgia.
Nothing left of the other fella's mid tower. Your top tower's
So
hurting.
no nostalgia first of all. Second of all, I don't like the grim atmosphere. I don't mind some dark areas, but there is every corner. I don't like how it's and most importantly, I'm someone who lives side quests. The only times I've done side quests or explored past when I've beaten a game is if I love so much that I feel like I can't be done with the game. I need more playtime. For example, Windmaker. I loved Windmaker so much when I was done. I was like, crap, I want to play the game more. Okay, I'm gonna go to every single island in the entire ocean.
Won't be coming back for a while.
When I beat it and like I'd gotten a good amount of the shrines and I beat into the Divine Beast and I beat the boss, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and find all the shrines. I only like him if it's like I love the game. Majora's Mask, if I talk to people that like Majora's Mask, 90% of people that say what they love about Majora's Mask, it's the side quests. 90% of people say that the strong point of Majora's Mask is side quests. Which means to me that when I play the game, my playstyle doesn't like doing side quests. So, when I play the game, I only play the main story first. And because the main story isn't that great, I have no interest in going out of the way to try and do all of these side quests. Which means that for me, it just feels like really not that something.
Might want to check your bottom tower.
Like the atmosphere, but
Them Dia buildings are tough as nails. Your bottom tower ain't long for this world.
If I remember, to do Super Dude, it only makes a 1 second difference. I don't
They're
like
meaning to smash that bottom tower of yours. The other fellas aiming to wreck your bottom tower. The other fellas top tower. Your bottom tower's toast. Hey, keep your chin up.
Why?
They're meaning to smash that bottom tower of yours. They'll break through the dire structures for now.
I 100%.
The other fella's top tower won't be making trouble no more. That did it for the other fella's top rack. Have fun trying to bust down radiant structures now.
Spotted.
How do you feel about Blue Stronger being darker than MM, seeing that's what Enuma said? It depends. Here's an easy example of a game that I'm okay with, okay? TP and A Link to the Past. A Link to the Past. I despise the Dark World, but I'm okay with it because there's still the Light World, and you go to the Light World a decent amount. So it's not just dark. Even though I find it boring to play for a long period of time in the dark and grim atmosphere and everything is dead of the Dark World in A Link to the Past, because there's a bright world, so there's some happiness. It's just enough balanced out to where I'm okay with it. Twilight Princess, same thing. I hate how in the beginning of the game a lot of stuff is dark. Color scheme in some areas are really nice and poppy. For example,
Your mid tower's coming apart.
even though like it's not the happy atmosphere, it's not like grim. You know, it's not dark, it's grim. And for some other areas, when you kind of gotten done with the Twilight Realm and you kind of progress further in, then it becomes more bright. So I'm okay having some dark rim. It's just that it can't only be that.
Yes.
And that's how I feel about Majora's Mask. There is no moment for me where like I really have spent like, oh, I know for some reason it's wholesome, but in general, still the whole game is grim and dark, and there's no happy, bright atmospheres. Where's my least favorite Zelda game? Oh, Skyward Sword. Not even a chance.
Let's have a go at it. Yeah. That's gonna be
I'm coming behind them with Omni.
Into the breach.
My main problem with Skyward Sword is that it's different from every other Zelda game in one way. Anytime I play a Zelda game, I feel like they make the gameplay, and then they sign a story that fits around the gameplay. Skyward Sword feels like they wrote a story, and then they've had to force to make a game work with the story that they wrote. So I think that the gameplay was really damaged by that. The overworld sucks. I hate flying around. I way rather sail around with a boat. I don't feel like open world at all. Like, it's so boring and bland. All the islands are bland and boring. You re-enter the same areas over and over again. You refight the same bosses over and over again. Like, literally. For example, a lot of people's biggest complaints about like how we did attack in dungeons was that the story was weak. Yes, a story that's better is good, but I'd rather have a weak story and good Zelda gameplay than a great story, because I never played Zelda. I mean, think about it, okay? Like, what is there about Wind Waker?
Of course.
Evil Ganon comes back to power. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then Master Sword. Got the Master Sword. Oh no, it lost its power. How to get the power back? Okay,
Yeah, I forced Staff to do it, but it was out of range.
Whoa, like, it's, come on, like, it's...
Can you wait for next road?
I never played a Zelda game for mainly a story so sick, so that's why I think
Yeah, we can wait on Island. Yeah.
They're invis, careful.
Even with that said, even though I find that Skyward Sword is the most boring 3D Zelda game out there, I understand why people like it. If you personally look for more story and music and atmosphere in your game than gameplay, I understand why you like it. For me, that is not what I look for in a Zelda game. I don't play Zelda games to look for that story and that atmosphere, music and mood. So, I understand why.
Full bore.
Also, I don't actually hate the motion controls. I think that's something I think 100%. However, if the game was actually, in my opinion, like really good, would I have not enjoyed it because of the motion controls? I do think that it's better with normal controls, but if that game was nice, if that game was as like good as Wind Waker, for example, like if Skyward Sword, if Wind Waker had motion controls, I would still wish
that top tower of yours ain't doing so good. Radiant's gone and fortified their structure. Monster top tower's in trouble. Dire's courier has made its final delivery.
Run and gun.
It does have motion controls. Okay. Maybe you disagree with me on this. I see motion controls and gyroscope aiming to be two different things. I see those as two different things. Gyroscope aiming and motion controls for me are two very different things. It's very different if you want to aim with it, or if you want to move a platform and moves the way your controller does, versus playing with motion controls.
Your mid tower needs a little help.
I obviously
Dire
understand
went
that
and fortified their structure.
We can fight this, defend this.
They are both motion controls, but to distinguish the two, because they are very different kinds of motion controls, I think it's easy to gyroscope and gyroscope aiming
Run and gun! Quick draw! Trick shot! Where is my shot?
I should have picked up that
Full
bomb.
bore!
If Nintendo wants to remake a Zelda game, I really hope they remake Skyward Sword. Because even though I would love
I see
getting
it
a
on the
remake
Zeus.
of my
I'm gonna
favorite
go on
games
him.
like Wind Waker, technically speaking, I think
Don't go
even
on
if you
him.
like Skyward Sword, most people agree that Skyward Sword has the most room of improvement. So, if they make a new remake, I think Skyward Sword is and there are certain things about that game where it would be better to line and you don't make a one-to-one remake. I think that could happen. The only other one I would say is if they remake
Hopefully,
Spirit
guys.
Tracks Phantom
Lost the
Path. That would
mid-tower.
actually be my number one.
Showed him but good.
Because if they remake Spirit Tracks Phantom Path with the controller, that would be my number
There
one.
goes one of the other
I think
fellas
those are very
mid-towers.
underrated and they're actually insane. It's just that they're horrible.
Nothing left of the other fellas
Not
mid-tower.
So those would be my favorites. If I would have to pick. But I think
Hopefully.